When I was a kid, I used to be a nerd. And I'm not talking about the Hollywood version of a nerd here, with the oversized glasses and uptight clothes. I'm talking about caring deeply about stuff. Collecting Pokemon cards, drawing, playing video games, and learning about their stories, watching anime, learning about the universe and having an existential crisis about how insanely lucky we are to be alive in this pale blue dot. Anyways, I miss that. I miss when people used to nerd out about stuff. I miss when I used to nerd out about stuff. And I want to bring that feeling back. And for that, I need a plan, and you're coming with me. There are two main challenges from going to normie all the way back to nerd. And the first challenge is this guy right here. And obviously I'm not talking about the iPhone. This is the internet. And honestly nowadays everything here looks kind of the same. The videos, the AI slop, even the opinions. It's like most people forgot how to care. And in here you are actually induced to follow the rules, to be a normie, to be part of the trend. I kind of already know how I'm going to overcome this challenge right here, but I'll get to it in a second. The second challenge is being an adult, aka your job, your boss, the bills you have to pay. Because if there's something we all have when we are kids, it's time. And honestly, when I was in that phase of my life, I didn't want to grow up. All I wanted to do was play, learn, watch anime, spend time with my friends, and just do whatever I want. Fast forward a few years, and if I plan my day wrong, I barely have time to eat. The first thing I need to solve is social media, and it's going to be a tough situation because I do love the internet. But sometimes social media can feel dead. And not because it's empty, on the contrary, but simply because it's full of the same things. Every time I search for something new, the algorithm just tries to feed me more of the same, just remixes of remixes. It's way better here on YouTube, by the way, but at the same time, most people are always looking for what works and not necessarily what matters. Yeah, so I thought that curating my feed a little bit better was going to be enough to just give me that sense of wonder and just be able to see new stuff, but apparently I was wrong. And it's starting to get clear to me that maybe the problem is not the internet, but myself. Maybe it's the fact that I am feeling saturated with all of this. Maybe it's the fact that I stopped being a nerd. And looking back on it, I think I know why. Come with me. You see, at some point, Big Boss number 2 here, aka being an adult and paying bills, started to play a huge role in my life. And suddenly life was not just play anymore. It was a checklist. Get up early, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. It really became a loop, and I got so caught up in it that I stopped chasing wonder. But I think that in order to fix that, I need to go back to the things that used to make me feel something. Well, since the internet's not going to help me find any new stuff to be a nerd about, I decided to take matters into my own hands and purchase this book right here. This is almost 4 pounds, by the way. It's an insanely huge book. This is The Art and Making of Arcane by the Fortiche studio, which is an animation studio, perhaps one of the best animation studios out there right now. And this thing simply took my breath away. This is the kind of work that makes me want to be a nerd again, makes me want to create again. And it is so clear to me now why Arcane was so successful. And it's not about the shapes and colors or the textures, or even the fact that this book by itself is a piece of art, full of posters and interventions, and you get to know the story behind the people who made the show. This is a masterclass on storytelling, and it reminded me that great art, great outputs come from people who care too much, also known as the nerds. When you read about their references, how they shaped the world of Arcane around Art Nouveau architecture, French Impressionist paintings, steampunk machinery, and even 19th century Europe, this is the kind of depth that you simply cannot find in social media. This is the thing that you cannot scroll past. And it makes you care about it because it's clear that the creators of this thing right here deeply care about this stuff. And it's actually a relief to have found this book in the age we're living in right now with all of the AI slop. This is insane. This is a mind-blowing art book, perhaps the best one I've ever read. But I didn't want to stop just there. I wanted to bring more of that childhood playful vibe into my life. So I made time to pick up another thing, which is Demon Slayer. I'd seen clips before online, it's nice visuals, cool fight scenes, but I never really gave it a chance until some friends recommended it to me, and I'm very glad they did. The story is incredible, it's emotional, it's sincere, but the cherry on top for me is the fact that the creator of Demon Slayer, which is Koyoharo Gutuji, which is probably another name that I butchered on this channel, she or he still chooses to remain anonymous. No one knows who they are. No fame, no face, no influencer interview, no followers, just the work. I want you to imagine that just for a second. 220 million copies sold, and nobody knows who the fuck you are. I think this is brave and beautiful at the same time. Because in a world where everyone wants to be seen, perhaps the most powerful thing you can do is sort of like disappear and blend in with your craft. It's about caring more about the story than the storyteller, and that for me is the essence of being a nerd. When you just love something so deeply, it doesn't matter if anyone's watching. I'm very glad that I set out on this journey to revive the nerd inside me, because I think it turns out that's the cure for what I'm having right now. Caring is the cure. Taste, curiosity, obsession, they are all muscles and they get weak if you don't exercise them. And we do exercise it by going outside of our bubble, going outside of what the algorithm wants you to see every single time. And when you think about it, every great thing ever made, songs, movies, games, poems, it all starts with someone who cares too much and decided to share. So when the world feels boring, maybe it's not because creativity is gone and everything feels bland. Maybe it's just because curiosity got quieter. And maybe, just maybe, the world doesn't need more creators chasing trends, but it needs more nerds chasing wonder. And I think that's contagious. Whether you're the head of an animation studio, an anonymous artist, a video maker, or just someone who loves creating things, whatever that is, we need you. The world needs you to care again. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.